Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the car, hoodied up. It is cold. It is March, but we have an important one today. We're talking about something a lot of people spend a lot of money on. Sometimes it's even a greasy business. No, we're not talking about OF. We're talking about AF, which of course means auto financing. Ladies and gents, my whole professional career, I've actually been in finance, lending and borrowing and saving, budgeting, investing. That's kind of my niche. So in the professional world and in the car world, I feel like I have the qualifications to kind of talk about this. So that is something that can affect a lot of us car people, right? If you're thinking about buying a car, you don't have the full payment saved, you're wondering if you can afford it, let's talk about it. We're gonna dive in to the pros and cons of auto financing today. So we're gonna talk about the pros of getting a car loan. The first one being that immediate ownership. You can buy a car that you might not have the full payment for because you get immediate ownership of it. If you go to a dealership or you get private financing, you can write a check and say, I don't have this money, but the bank's gonna give it to you for this car and I'm gonna pay them back. This can be especially useful if you need it urgently for work, school, family, or you just want a car. So another major benefit of having a car loan is it builds your credit score. If you make monthly payments on time, every time, it will show lenders that you're responsible and it can actually boost your credit score. So what most people do when they're building credit, or if they're brand new to credit, if you're like fresh 18, you don't have any credit experience, what you do is you get a secured credit card or something with a low limit. You make payments on time for that. Don't pay interest on it, just make your payments on time. And then you can work your way into something like a car loan. So it's a good way to build credit if you are new to credit or need to rebuild your credit. Another pro to having a car payment is actually flexible terms. Car loans usually come with various repayment terms like 3 to 5 years, 36 months to 60 months. They do have longer term options based on the lender. So you can find yourself with a 72-month or 84-month car loan. I beg you not to do that. The highest I would go is 60 months. Reason being, you can work your way underwater very quickly if you stretch out your loan just to fit your monthly budget, especially if you don't put a lot down or you put a lot of miles on your car. It will quickly become less valuable than what you owe on the car. And that just sucks for everyone, because what if something comes up? What if you got to sell the car? What if stuff hits the fan? Then you owe more than what the car is worth. You're underwater. You got to sell the car. You lose money. Nobody's happy. But if you do a 60-month car loan, it fits your terms. It works best for you. You can budget accordingly. I say don't make a car loan that's more than 15-20% of your pay total on a monthly basis. If you do have good credit, you might be able to qualify for a lower interest rate on the car loan. It makes borrowing more affordable. Basically, the more responsible that you are with your money, it shows banks that, yes, I've made payments in the past. Yes, you can trust me to do that in the future. Okay, here's our agreement. You'll owe less in interest over the total life of the loan. So this next one, you get to keep your savings intact. Say you have $50,000 saved for a car and you want to buy a car that costs $50,000. Well, you could either do that and leave yourself with nothing, or you could put $25,000 down, finance $25,000, and then keep $25,000 in your savings account for things like an emergency fund, investments, or any unforeseen circumstances. Throw it in a high yield savings account, earn 4%, that sort of thing. I will say, before you take out an auto loan, please have a little emergency fund stashed away, 3 to 6 months of expenses, just in case you lose your job, or like I said, stuff hits the fan, you got to sell a car. It just gives you time and comfort. You do not want to get your car repossessed, and that is going to be con number one. It puts a lien on your car, and you get that risk of repossession. So if for some reason you can't keep up with the auto loan payments, the lender has the right to yoink your car from you. So not only is that stressful, but it can also significantly damage your credit score too. So if you don't make payments on time, they report that to the credit bureaus and they say, this person has not been paying us. Tisk, tisk, lower their score. And they will. So that can overall hurt your financial situation, because if you need to borrow in the future, that's a ding on your credit. It's in your history. It's there forever. So another con is interest costs. If you are paying more than the car is worth, you're going to end up underwater. We already went over that. You could actually end up paying more than the sticker price of a car if you buy a new car and finance it, which sucks also. So what I recommend is not buying a car and financing it unless it's like 3 years old, if it's something off lease, if it's something that won't depreciate intensely in the first few years of ownership. Some of that depreciation already hits from the first owner. You pick it up as a second owner, as a used car. That can work out great. That's what I've done, and honestly, I'd probably do it again. Another con is it's debt, man. It is debt on your credit score, and it is a financial commitment. So it's something you're signing up for, monthly payments to be made. You're saying, I'm going to pay the bank this X amount of money for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years. It is a contract. So it strains your budget, it strains your financial flexibility. So again, it's something to think about before you make your final decision on a car purchase. Another con is the depreciation itself. If you are buying a car, it loses value as soon as you drive it off the lot. Now, pretty much everybody knows this, but over the life of the loan, say you keep the car for 5 years, you made your 60 monthly payments. Now the car is worth significantly less than it was when you bought it. So yeah, your car might be paid off, but it is going to be worth a fraction of the price. It is a depreciating asset, guys. Cars are not good investments. And this is coming from a car guy. As a finance professional and a car guy, it's really conflicting for me, and I've gone back and forth on this a lot. Sometimes I would just want to sell the car and buy a Tesla and, do all that business. And then I realize, no, I'm not going to do that. So it's something to think about. Depreciation of cars is just a thing. It's always going to be a thing. If you are in a niche situation like buying a 911, which somehow just doesn't depreciate if you keep low miles on it, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, if you're buying a car, that value is going to go like this quick. Another con, there's additional fees to loans. You got to read the contract you're signing. There might be an origination fee, an early payoff fee. Fees are the worst. I hate paying fees. I try to avoid them as much as possible. So if you can mitigate fees and look through your loan, just be smart about it, please. So should you get a car and finance it? Well, that's going to depend on your personal financial situation. Yes, it can help you get behind the wheel of a car and build your credit, but make sure you're comfortable with the monthly payments. Understand the interest costs. Don't stretch yourself too thin financially. Before making any financial decisions, shop around for the best car loan. You can look at other lenders. You can look at credit unions, which are probably going to be the lowest interest option there are, versus going directly to a dealership and doing their financing. Make sure you weigh the pros and cons. And like I said, I am technically a financial professional, but I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just me explaining some of my experience and wisdom, just going through this because I've done it myself. I've helped other people do it. It's just something that makes sense to me and something I thought would be valuable to you guys. So personally, I financed one car, and that is the car I'm sitting in. It's a 2019 Audi S4. If you guys are familiar with my channel and the way I did things, I bought a 2013 S5 cash, and then I sold it 4 years later for a good chunk of change. I put the proceeds from that sale down on this car and financed the rest. So I did my budgeting. I did a clear expense list, my projected payments. I actually pay extra on that auto loan to pay off the car sooner, and it's within my monthly budget. Now, for me, this car actually makes me money on YouTube, so that's kind of like a little loophole. If the car is a source of revenue for you, there are some exceptions to my rules, but it is a weird little niche kind of thing. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up for the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new or want to see more stuff like this. If you have any questions about car loans, drop them in the comments below. Again, not a financial advisor, but always happy to help. Thanks very much for watching. Let's hit 30,000 subscribers. We're so close. Till next time, ladies and gents, we'll see ya.